What is going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Doing all right today. We are kind of stuck in this shaders thing. I don't know what happened, but this previous update just happened a couple days ago. My shader. Okay, so it looks like I hit a wrong button there. Shut everything down. I think it's gonna. Yep.
And the mystical Bene Gesserit sisterhood.
Oh, stop doing that.
But it was the Navigators and their monopoly on.
Okay, so here we go. I think we're good now. I think we figured it out, right? Okay, there we are. I'm actually kind of proud of myself because I just screwed it up and was able to just reconnect. Had never had to do that before, so I'm proud of myself. We're learning. I'm a real boy, a professional. Red Riot today. Denki and Red Riot are my favorite MHA characters, so come on. Just get in here. I gotta warn you guys. We had burritos last night for dinner, Taco Tuesday. Let me get this out here. And it was leftover day, so went down and instead of actually making a burrito, I just threw it in a bowl, mix it up. And I was doing fine, but I knew I was running out of time because I needed to get this going. And well, that last bite, I kind of did that. Like when you inhale accidentally while you're eating something, and this is what the end result of all that was, is I'm choking on beef and rice. Great. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, it takes a little while to get caught up. Something with the updates going on. Don't know, man. Let me see. I don't know where I'm at. I don't think there's anything in these. Oh, part of this update was that you could change the name of vehicles, which is super awesome because when you go to a oh, this game, come on, man, load in. When you go to a chest now, if you wanted to say, like, I want to put some of these good lord, cat, hey, psst, hey. I don't know if you guys can hear the cats are fighting. But yeah, if I wanted to put some of these in to a vehicle, one problem I had is, I have two scouts. I have a Mark 5 and a Mark 6, and I have two assaults. I have a transport one, and I have a one with rocket launchers. That one wasn't so bad, but it was kind of difficult to tell which one was going into where. So now I've got the Mark 6 assault or scout and the Mark 5 scout. So that's actually really nice. I got to do the same thing with the sand bikes, although the one that I have a Mark 6 sand bike, and I think it's a Mark 4, so technically we could break that. But yeah, this was nice. Of course, the assault thopter, which would be my Mark 6, doesn't show up because it doesn't have storage boxes, so it doesn't show up as an option here. But that was really nice.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Dude, every time, man. Every damn time. Where's it coming from? Coming from way over there. I don't know. I guess it's just me, but more often than not, when I load in within the first 5 minutes, I got a sandstorm bearing down on me. So you have to let that go for a second. First thing we're gonna do. Yep, we got full capacity. First thing we're gonna do is we gotta check the roof. Always important. And then we got to go to the monastery and check the roof. And then we're going to get right into the topic of discussion, which is I want to find a new spot to build a base. My bases, I have two here. I have my main base, which is right here. And then I have this one, which is where I get my jasmium for duraluminum stuff. And also this makes for quick transitions when I'm going to deep deserts for the world map. I did my Haga Basin South stuff, and then it said, oh, you got to move up here to this new area. And my actual original base was like down here or down here, one of these two. I think it was this one. And when I was transporting, as I've mentioned it quite a few times, but I got a server stall and got eaten by a worm, transferring a bunch of the crap I had from here over to here, and lost my sand bike, which was sad. But and then I labored over here because this area wasn't quite geared up for. So we ended up having a time of it, but we got through it. Now sandstorm's gonna come in, but this area worked out pretty well for me. I was right here by this testing station. Get that before the sand takes it away. Which gave me access to those particle capacitor servox, bunch of material, the Solari, different materials, and I was able to farm my way up to a much better existence there. But it was rough sometimes. But when I built this base, can't believe it. When I built this base, the first area I built was actually this spot right here. And I had just a regular little door, and it was just this little small space. Out my back door, I had access to a bunch of dew plants for water because I was still, just getting into the Reaper thing with a small canteen, a decaliter, or liter, John. But it was that area, and then this over here, this area. And over time, as I've done more things, needed more equipment, just as I advanced and progressed, I needed more and more space. And we started doing some design features and, stuff like that. Like, I like this. I think it came together really nicely. But, it's kind of a weird setup because it's just, do you ever drive around and maybe you have one of these in your city or neighborhood or whatever, but you look at a house and it's like, okay, you could tell that that was the original house and then they built this part onto it and just made this addition. Because it'll be like a different color, different material, different type of siding, something like that. That's what my base became. It was just I had my little central area, and then I just kept adding on and going around. And honestly, the issue I have is like, I keep all my vehicle stuff over here, my vehicles for the ramp, but my air power is all the way on the top there. So it's a bit of a run to just get. It's not that bad, but I'm running here and here and here and up the stairs, etc. This piece of equipment here, which is my large refinery, is huge. So this is the only room that I had that it could fit, and I specifically changed. I used to have a hangar up in this area where we have our. Like you used to be able to go through doors here, and it would lead you to an air hangar, and that's where I parked my ornithopter when I only had one. That's what this area was all. And then I turned this into just a spice refinery room, put some statues up and stuff. But I've got a lot of open space. I've got a lot of areas that don't do anything. Like there's nothing here. Like I've got 3 squares worth of. What do I need here? I don't need to put storage. I don't need to put anything. The only reason I have it is because this area behind where my large refinery is the steps leading down to where my vehicles are. So it's just mismatched and thrown together, and I think I've done well with it, but it's bothering me. So we are in the market now for a new spot of real estate to build another base, and this time build it with specific gameplay in mind. For instance, I don't want to have to run from one side of the base to the other to do something. I want to have something that has like a central area and then areas like ground vehicles, air vehicles, etc., will be relatively close. So when I go in the front door, I've got ore refinery here, I've got spice refinery here, I've got water here, I got this, that. That's my goal, and that's what my plan is going to be. I don't really know how to facilitate this. I thought about just making the base that I want to make right over in that area, because then I could just run things back and forth. And also, just off to the side here, I used to have some neighbors, and I thought about doing it there too, but there's some bad guy camps, and I don't want to have to. This last event, I used to have ships that would crash right up here in my front yard here, or side yard, whatever it is. And, I was a little worried there because the worms are eventually coming up and eating the damn thing. And is it going to take a chunk of my base at the same time? And also, what part of this can be bumpered and result in a death? And also, I've got this whole section here that I, basically made the L shape, and it's really cool. But you ever see me go in the store? No, you don't, because there's nothing in there for me. So it's just a lot of wasted space, a lot of running around doing silly stuff, and we're gonna look at new options. The main reason I built here was because of water. This was before I had wind traps. This is before I could do death stills. So water was an issue, and having this right outside the back door here was really awesome. I would come out here with a Dew Reaper and nail all these things. If you hit T, it'll show you the time of day. See up there in the top corner, it's just became nightfall right now. So, I got some time to wait before I can do harvest. But I would come out here and get all these things. And I'd put them in a little liter jon and then run in and dump it in the tank. And that's the way the game's supposed to be. In the early days, you don't have a whole lot of resources. You don't have a lot of options. So it worked when it worked, and it just doesn't work anymore. And also, after playing as long as I have, I'm a little smarter. Not much, but I'm a little smarter. And I think I can do better. And I did a lot of the squares on squares type things. I did do some just aesthetic things, but for the most part, it's a very blocky, and there's better options that I could do. So, want to experiment with that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to claim some territory. And also keep in mind when you do this, I have the monastery, the Jasmine base. I can't get rid of that. That's serving its purpose extremely well. And then I have this base. So if I do this and pop another base to build, I can't be out in the deep desert. So we won't be able to do any kind of buggy ore mining until we make that final decision and get ourselves back down to 2 in the Haga Basin area. Another thing is, I was talking before about proper way or a better way to build storage, which this, it's out in the middle of nowhere. It's right up against the stairs. I got to find a way to get up there in order to get up to the aircraft. We have this thing here where you run up here, and now I've got a big room with nothing in it. It's actually a lie. There's 3 water tanks behind this wall. And then you go back up, and then you're finally where the aircraft are. I know this sounds like, sounds bad complaining about this, but I need more aircraft storage. The Mark 6 craft are great. They're the fastest. They're the strongest. Apparently, we're going to move on from that. They'll be like Mark 7 and Mark 8, etc. someday, from what I understand. Don't quote me on that. It's just what I heard around the campfire. But I like the 6, both the assault and the scout, for anything I do in the deep desert, because it's, the better of the 2. So when I'm in Haga Basin, I like to use the Mark 5. Now, why do I do that? Because if I have to replace these wings, I need some pretty heavy material and some spice melange in order to make a wing for a Mark 6. but it's just a duraluminum base for a Mark 5. So while I'm running around here, doing flower sand and killing Kirab and goofy stuff, we'll save the wear and tear on the good vehicles. We'll take the beater cars. Um, I have the same setup as far as the assaults go, but the issue there is I have my assault set up. It's got rocket pods and rockets on it, so I really don't have a storage option to switch between the two. But I have two Thopters plus this. I have two assaults, which is four, and now I'm building a carrier. So I've got five ornithopters. It's a lot of stuff to fit into a space. And over the course of playing last week, I was in all three of these regularly. This I'm building, so it's just missing the wings, and I have the materials. I could be making the wings right now. Just inside, just haven't taken that step. The combat one, I moved it over to a little side place. I originally made a small hangar. We'll take a look at it for this guy, but I underestimated the size. But it fits my assault just fine. But yeah, I need more space for these kind of things. Less space for absolutely nothing. It's like so. That's my issue, but. Since the storm has passed, let's go out and let's make sure our bases are in great shape. I think I have fuel on me. I do not, but there's fuel in this guy. Yeah, I made some filters in preparation for this. Yeah. Came out here earlier in the week. I think it was yesterday. I came out and did a quick check, and actually my wind turbines were almost low, if not out. Okay, so for these guys, when they get down to 50%, I'll refill them back up to 100. So right now we're still good. We're at 63, and all of them should be the same thing, so that's awesome. Same thing with this one. Once they get down to half is when I'm going to start worrying about them. I've got those materials already made, so 86 is perfect. 86, I mean, it's practically a month, goodness sakes. Let's see. So I'm at 80%. I guess we'll just go ahead and take it up to 100. It's only one filter, who cares? I never did build my third one here. Ooh, this one's down low. There we go, now it's full. And we'll check you. 86. 86. And as long as these guys are good, 63, and this one should be 63 as well. Good. Okay. So this base is up and running and going to be running for the next 5 days at least. So, hooray. Let's do a couple little flybys here and some things that I personally, just talking about myself here. Things that I did that I liked about this base. So I really like the little clip wing there. That makes landing in here so much easier. I don't know if it's just a me problem or what. But, yeah, that was really nice. I like doing that. I like these little chevrons that I built on the outside edges. This looked better before I had to extend the upper hold, the upper hanger, in order to fit that assault or the carry-all in there. But, and using the angle piece walls to kind of create the chevron design. And I did the same thing on the bottom. And I have the same thing out here, except we made it much bigger. And I went with patios that have absolutely no purpose, with the pillars, just to get that regal look. But yeah. And then we started building over here. This was the hangar I was talking about. Apparently my assault likes to stick its wing out there. Stop it. I don't want to kill you. And we got the upper chevron as well. So that was kind of nifty. I made this area so I could stand out here and watch for spice blows. But I don't ever really go into it. I'm usually out and about and running around and doing things. So I would think it was a neat idea, and I was like, this is going to be cool. And it looks okay, but I don't get any use out of it. So not as useful as I should have had. I don't know why I put an upper deck out here. I should have just moved the wall all the way out, but I was trying to get away from that square look, and I put the pillars here just for decoration, but it doesn't really do anything. And then we just got flat walls. Now you can, I'm like a teenager. You can kind of see this area right here really defines it, as this was the original base that I built. Thank you. It's so nice of you guys to kind of highlight that. But this was the original part of the base that I built, and then everything else just kind of expanded. Now it's not so nice. Now you can't see anything but the copter there. But yeah, this was the original part, and then everything else just kind of, was built off of this, so you can kind of see where that came from. And yeah, it's just not liking it, especially since you fly around, and maybe you can see it in your own area as well. There's quite a bit of people that are really creative and do really incredible jobs with their bases. And I've just got this bunch of buildings thrown together type look. And some areas are unfinished, like this area here. I just didn't care enough to try to do it. And I like symmetry. I like for if it's three wide, then we got three wide. So this kind of bothers me, this little outcropping right here, because it doesn't fit into anything, and especially when you look above, you can see where it started to be sensible, but it fell apart. Now, the main reason I liked this base was, again, the closeness to water, the closeness to the jasmium for duraluminum, and to get away from, or to get out to the deep desert was a very short flight. And if you think about it, the closeness to water doesn't matter anymore. I can make, wind traps, death stills, I make my own, so X. Closeness to the jasmium, I can get more with the buggy out of the monastery base than I can get flying with a thopter, so X. And then to get onto the world map and the deep desert and other places, jasmium base is closer. So the three main things that made this base so cool for me and worked so well for me, they're gone. I guess that spice, I think, was over there, yeah. So it's not so much a good place. Now, with that testing station right there, and, I've got a decent encampment here. There's at least 4 people inside of there, and inside of this circle. And there's an encampment over here. So, and right behind my base there's an encampment. So I had a good source of bodies, but to be honest with you, it's not that hard to find them. Yeah. So I mean, it still does serve its purposes, and it does have its uses, but I think we can do better. Before we start scouting out real estate, we got to go check on the monastery, make sure everything's okay out there. Why is that ship? Why is that little building not loading in? Man. That's weird that the crashed ship to the left was in before the Harkonnen outpost. And now we'll go this way. Is that spice out there? Or is that just a shadow? Find out. Yeah, I guess just a shadow. I guess I should point that out. That is another good thing about my base location. I'm very close to a whole bunch of spice blooms. I can go out, and I'm pretty close to 3 or 4 regular spice blooms. So if I log in, I can be you know, getting spice within minutes. But moving may change that. So there we go. Now, come on. There you go. One thing about this base, I have the 4 water traps on there because my goal is to be constantly making aluminum, duraluminum, etc., and titanium. Basically, the stuff that I would bring in from the deep desert. The issue is, I think I overbuilt, at least for what I'm doing right now. It's pretty safe to say that the water out here is going to be completely full. At least it better be completely full. So, and if you look, can't build anything because we just put in a bunch of duraluminum, so I only have a little bit of copper out here. I have no iron ore except the 3 there, 2 carbon and no ingots. I only have 3 aluminum. Got 1,200 jasmine crystals, so I can make 400, but I don't have any aluminum out here. Plastone, I got the silicone blocks, but I don't bring basalt stone out here. And then finally the plastanium. Got a little bit of ore, just don't have any strontium fibers. So this base is down right now because you good, man? You good? All right. Because I just made 700 in some of these. So let's see. We'll put this in the buggy. Actually, we could probably put that in the ornithopter if we can. Not all of it. We'll take 500 back with us. That's fine. The rest of the buggy, so we can stick it in a building or in a storage box here. Their aluminum should be this one. What? It's titanium. That's aluminum. There we go. We'll pull from the buggy. Let's move you, and then we'll put you in there and you there. So, we got decent amount of stuff, but we're just not. It's been a few days since we've been out in the deep desert, so we don't have a lot of things coming around. I think, honestly, you should turn these bad boys off. So we're at 60%. This thing is running, and it's going to keep running. Until those filters run out. So if we come over here, we can actually shut that off, and this will stay at the 60%. So since we're not going to be doing too much about it, and this keeps me from running machines that aren't doing anything, saves those filters, because if your storage is full, these things are still running even if they're not putting anything anywhere. So we got them turned off, and we just got to remember to turn them back on. I'm going to leave some of the filters I brought here, so in the future when we come out here, now the deal with this base and it being shut down right now is a direct result of me not being in the deep desert over the last, I guess this will be my second going on 3rd day of not being out there. And the little bit that I was out there, I was using tons and tons of water and resources out in the actual deep desert in order to use up the resources I had in that base because I was tearing it down. So that's why this base is actually not doing anything right now. But that's actually okay. I'm not too upset about that. It serves its purpose, and if it doesn't have a purpose right now, like I'm not using, we're not going to the deep desert, we're worried about that, it's fine. We'll make sure everything gets full, and then we'll just sit and let it go. These guys are all going to be the same, and they're at 68%, so power is going to be great. Plus, turning off those wind traps, those were the major draw. As you can see, we're down to only using about, let's just say 700. So we're less than half. We're below half of our power requirement, or how much we can generate. Now, this base I still do have some running around to do, but it's so much minor. So okay, look. So ah, some issues. You drive up the ramp. Here you are. You park. Right. Staircase right in front of you. Here's all the storage for the base. This is where, like, the office type area is. This is where all the filters and grease, silly stuff, and all that. And then you come up here, and you've got a hangar. You got oil refinery. We can do a chemical, and then this stuff over here was just like fabricators I stuck in, so I could actually make filters here if I really had to, etc., etc. And yeah, I've got to get up on the roof to do things, but this is so much more compact. And I've put quite a bit of stuff in here. This is kind of what I want to do as far as my main base goes. As far as my main base goes, this is the kind of setup that I want to have. I want to be able to go into a central area and then just make a short run and be where I need to be. That sounded close. That was actually weird. It looked like the little dust ring came from that direction, but there isn't much there. Let's see what we can see. Can't see nothing. I guess I imagined it. What's all that? I guess it just hasn't rendered yet. Yeah, we used to have a little base right here, small like the ones these guys have set up. This guy's wind turbines have been off forever. I don't know how he still has anything going on. Where's he getting his water from? Your base confuses me, sir. Easy. Unless he's death still in it the whole time. He's actually in radiation. He's got his vehicles in there, so... Man, this guy's right on the cusp there. Stop. I'm gonna get out. Anywho. I like my area better. So we'll go inside so we aren't wasting fuel or burning up in the sun, and take a look at some options that we have thought about. Okay, so with this base, if we need aluminum, go to the deep desert. So much faster, so much easier. It's just as abundant. We'll get a bunch out there, and we could do it with the buggy and then just fly it back, especially if we have a processing thing out there. If we don't want to do all that nonsense, then from here, usually cross this drum sand, and we'll make our way up this way. And right here, we cross over, and we go up, and we'll get all our aluminum ore out of these areas. And then we got to drive it all the way back, and then that's where we can process it. If we want to make it duraluminum, then we have to come down here, get the jasmium, and bring it back this way. So honestly, I feel like if I want to do loads of aluminum and duraluminum, this is the better option of going to the deep desert, even if I just go out in hand bring it in from a cutter array instead of using the buggy. The buggy's faster and I get more, but it's negligible. So aluminum isn't an issue, and jasmium isn't an issue. Um, I can get iron, I can get copper, I can get. In this area, we have to go in order to get like the basalt stone. Um, the only materials that we don't have quick and easy access to is carbon, which we need to mix with iron in order to make steel from iron ingots. And sorry, need to copy over here. Ethereate crystals, which you get from here. Now you also get the carbon from here. Carbon you can also find in some of these areas, so it's not a hard material to find, and it seems to be extremely light. I don't know why it's like a clear white crystal. I would think carbon would look a lot different than that, but I'm not a scientist, so who am I to say? But anyway, so yeah, the ethereite crystal, etherite, the stuff to make cobalt with is all from the Tiger Rift. And I gotta be honest, um, although I do, there's a lot of things that you use cobalt paste for, especially doing repairs. I don't ever seem to have to come over here and get this that often. And when I do, drink coffee. When I do, whatever I grab from my buggy and bring back is usually more than enough. But it's a journey, that's for sure. But I thought about this and I was like, hey, dude, you're making a carrier. Carry all carry a buggy. So I could take the carry all, grab my own buggy, fly over here, drop the buggy off, land, just leave the carry all sit there. Come down here, grab a bunch of stuff, get about there, come back, get in, fly back over if I really want to get crazy about it. And I don't honestly think that it matters that much, to be honest. Like, I don't need materials to that extent to where we're bringing that over. So there's two areas that I was looking at as far as a place to build. Number one was over in here, eastern or western shield wall. The reason is because I'll be near another source of aluminum ore in case I need it, but mainly because we'll be close to the quartermaster Helios Gate for any kind of Landsrad stuff that I want to do, and we're also going to be extremely close to Pinnacle Station and the Crossroads, the trading posts if we go do that. So economically speaking, this is a really good area. The other thing that's good about this is like in this area here with the Mesa Terrell. Um, this is where you get the carbide scraps, diamondine dust, and stuff from killing the Masquerite. And I'm over here quite often, whether it's for myself or to help my guild out as well. Plus, you got your agave seeds that you find in here, which is good for iodine and also for the um, decorations and stuff, which we want to do that more. So there is quite a good reason to be somewhere in these areas. It'll put it a lot closer. Now, it's not that far of a flight, to be honest, from here. I just fly out across and we're there. But if I could do it if I could do it quicker, it'd be worth it. So that's one option I had, is somewhere in this area to be close to those things. The next one I was thinking was this big bad boy right here, right in the center of the map. I could build a base along this area. I scouted it out. There are a couple spaces that are open, which puts me a very short drive to go get carbon and get. I don't really need carbon, so let's just say the ethereite crystals for cobalt paste. This is a huge area here. So when I'm weighing those two up, I'm thinking to myself, okay, building here gives me quick access to this. It's nice that it is centrally kind of located. Like this would basically be the center of the map, at least for now. but it's really not that far from where I am. So it doesn't really hold too many more advantage. I need to get better sleep, man. It's the cats. I'm just gonna blame the cats. Cats, it's always the cat's fault. Um, but yeah, that would be just the fact that I can get into the Hager Rift, but I don't really have to go there that often. So I think somewhere up in here is where we're gonna be. Now, issues that I have with that is this area, the Udam. I'm here a lot because I hate these people, so I kill them all the time, and I really like it. It's actually like really fun for me. But this is some rough topography to try to build something in. Like this whole area is just craziness. And from here, like if you build something in the Eastern Shield Wall, it's called that for a reason. There's no real good ways to take a vehicle that can't fly up into this place. So driving is going to be questionable. And this is really the only good route to get your buggy out. So let's say I did want to come over here and get some crystals, or was it going out and just doing some general mining? This is the only way out, and here is kind of crazy. I'll go show you what I'm talking about. And again, you know, this is one thing this is what I mean. Like when I was built my first base, I didn't have any of these thoughts. I didn't think about flight times. I didn't even have anything that could fly in the air. I wasn't thinking about mining with the buggy. I just lost my, first sand bike, so didn't quite understand. Yeah, a little close to the radiation there. Plus, also, good God, building over here puts me in close proximity to all the spice fields that I'm used to harvesting. Which is, good. I never had an issue with that. I always loved the fact that I could fly out, and usually within a minute or two we were harvesting spice. Some spice right now. Let's go get it. Why is that so loud? Is that what he's coming after? Oh, let's talk about this. It's so nice to not hear cannon fire going off and crashing ships everywhere. Oh my gosh, it's so nice. Right? Thinking about it, isn't he? So if you remember the other day, a couple streams ago, I was talking about doing some Landsrad stuff, and I got the compact compactor, which has an extreme compacting range and also is less likely to call a worm. Now the worm thing, I don't quite know if I'm seeing that. Wrong button. Worms still seem to get angry at me, but it's taken me some time to get used to this shot pattern for this. As you can see, it does take a pretty big chunk, but I didn't have it far enough out to the edge, so we did miss some areas. We're going to work our way that way. Easy now. I didn't know if that shot was going to count. It seemed a little far away. What's up with this music? Like Jaws music or something. I don't know if you guys can hear that as well as I can. guess the worm sign's a little better. I guess not. I don't know. Okay. Oh yeah, while we're up in the air, I guess I should do this, right? Oh no, I can't do that because we're flying around with a full... It's too bright, man. Hard to get out of the habit of spice mining and not being scared that somebody's coming after you. Because you can take the sleeper out of the deep desert, but you can't take the deep desert out of sleep. Now, because this is a specialty unit, it doesn't break down quite as fast. But I also don't want to do this like I used to do, where we would fire off a shot just to pick up that one spice, because, you know, I wanted it to look all cool and pretty. So we don't want to do that kind of stuff anymore. This thing's a little more pricey, a little more valuable. Whoa! Dude's coming after us. Breach. So, good lord. Okay, so this was an area that I was thinking about. Because it's right on the edge of the Udam and the shield wall area. And interesting setups here. The issue with this is I don't think there's any place I'm going to be able to make a spot to put a buggy and a sand bike, because, you know, look at these rock formations, and I think that's one of the reasons why you don't see too many people building out here, just because of this. Well, you know, you got this guy here. It's a nice little base he's built. Also, there is a benefit to what this guy has done. As you can see, when you're building a base, you want to build it on like a rocky outcropping type area if you're out near the sand, to make sure that, you know, the worm doesn't get you. But that also does limit you. You'll be, you know, you'll make like a little room or something, and you got a big chunk of rock that's coming through the wall that you had to build around. And at first it's like, oh, it's kind of a neat aesthetic if you do it right. Then it just gets annoying. So dude found a solution by tucking himself in right here. That looks to be damaged. So you got some damage going on here? Yeah, he's got some exterior damage going. So I guess he built this and now he is not playing, or degenerate. I think that'll fix itself. Got some death stills. Nice. I don't think you can see this anymore, can you? Oh, no, it's still perfect. Uh-oh. Dude. Oh, that's the wall. That's the ceiling. It's not picking up. There it goes. That's still perfect. Okay, good. You're in fine shape. Oh, and he's got his little base thing right here. It's completely perfect. The decay system in this is silly. Guys. Everything's breaking in here, fellas. You can get in here. Look at that. Got a bed. This isn't a bad little setup. But you know what? This is kind of pointing to what I'm talking about. This guy did a pretty decent job of space management. It's, you know, pretty tight, a little congested. I don't remember how to get out of here now. There it is. That's not it. How did I get lost? Oh. Because I'm dumb, that's why. That's the only electricity that I've seen. This is kind of neat, the way he did this with the pillars. Nice little way to fly in. Looks like he does have a penta shield here, but it is down. An ornithopter looks like a dog peeing. Dude, you better come in here. Your stuff's gonna start taking some damage. How bad are we on the inside? So that's bad. These are all critical. These are all critical. These are perfect. Oh, the shield is perfect. The penta shield. These are all critical. So all this is going to collapse very, very soon. And then your stuff's going to start taking some hits, my friend. And it's also kind of weird because, like I said, his console's in perfect shape. So won't be able to take anything or claim anything from here. This looks to have a couple days on it. I don't think the outsides would be critical like they are without a multitude of storms coming through. So that's quite a bit of damage going on here. But it's a nice little setup. I'll give you credit on that, man. I don't know why you're letting it all rot, but oh, here's the generators. I see, I like it when you build stuff. Look at the symmetry. Oh my gosh, kudos to you, dude. Look at this. Oh! Get the square windows. Double spacing. Need power, though. Need to power up your base, friend. Don't know who you are, but come fix your stuff. It's also neat with the shot straight through. It doesn't look like, I guess they had penta shields up for all this stuff, but yeah, other than that, no security. But the symmetry is so nice. And the wedge walls to make the stairways. Good show, dude. But I also thought about building like back in this area here. And that way, you know, there's no worm sign here. There's none at all. So we can run free on the desert, play in the sand, do all sorts of cool, fun stuff. And we get a nice level building surface. And this area is right here. So we could even go a little further back. And then this gets us into the Odom. But yeah, that was a thought process that I had. I still got quite a bit of stuff to do here. Got some intels and some other things. So that was one of them. But let's go ahead. We're going to get some height. Okay. Somebody built a very large base back in here. And they kind of had the same concept that I was just talking about. You build on the sand, even though it's straight level sand. The worms can't get in here and get you, so it just makes for a very safe area to build in as far as, you know, rock outcroppings, things in your way. Looks like they ended up getting a little bit close in this back corner here, though. Had to get a little creative with some things. So, you know, if you go inside this base, which I don't think I can do, whatever they've got in here has a bunch of rocks along the side that goes all the way down. Interesting with the multiple pentashields. Is that multi-floored? No, it's just a single floor, but they did the 3. Chose for 1 here, and then they did 3 on this one too. So that's interesting. Wonder if these are the same guys. Got a little tower off to the side. Didn't quite make it big enough though, did you? Yeah. Or you didn't park all the way in. So, yep. But I'm not against being this close to Udom. But then again, you know, how many agave seeds do you really need? And if you fly off that way, you're very quickly into the deep desert map, so. Alright, so the next area we're going to take a look at was to put ourselves right up in like this area here. Sorry. Somewhere in the eastern shield wall. There's not a lot of good places to build. This was my normal entry point, like I said, to get in here to get all the iron and aluminum and all that stuff. We're gonna go right up here, which puts us pretty close to the center of everything. And this area is where you usually find some pretty substantial bases. Like the ones you're seeing right here. And it's also a very heavily populated area. This is people that are building their bases in order to make use of the proximity to aluminum. The Landsrad stuff is right over here, and to get to the deep desert is right over there. Interesting concept. So this area here, the shield walls are always very popular. How did they do this, you know? This base abandoned. Wonder if those were towers and not just walls going. So that, I guess, is how they did it. You could stand on there and reach all the way over. But I don't know if this is breaking down or not. Let's take a look. No, we're still in perfect shape, so I would think they still have some power going on here. Looks like landing pads, but no doors. And also, we're high enough in the altitude here where we're immediately burning through fuel, which is not a good thing. And now we're dying from sun. Let's get over here. Yeah, everything's still perfect, so they're still in good shape over here. Who knew? I think we're gonna run out of fuel as soon as we get in there, so we're gonna have to dump that in real quick like a bunny. Alright, that'll get us down below 750, so we're good to go. That's a cool idea and all, but that's pretty crappy that your fuel is burning that quickly. And as you can see, there's tons of enemy camps that have been built around here. So between the pre-existing spots and all of the large guild areas, there are still some spots. This guy here, I don't know who you are, but you're a douchebag. And it kind of looks like you're falling apart. I hope you are. Because they built ramps and structures all over the main throughway. I used to come up this way all the time and, you know, make a left to go up here. This is where you get a bunch of aluminum, basalt, and all that stuff. And then they built their base right here. But it looks like they maybe have powered down. Yeah. And everything's going away. Good. This base is built so well. I don't know where. Here's what I'm talking about. So, like, see, you got your walls, you got your concept ideas, and then you just got big chunks of rock right in the middle. Well, that's where they have it. So yeah, everything's perfect. Here's something odd. I don't know if they forgot about it, but that's a no bueno situation right there. That's a hole in your base. So they needed to put another roof pattern, a roof tile, right there. That's funny, as you'll see these guys have some damage to them. This one's really hurt for some reason. But no, we're in perfect shape back here. So this doesn't look like it's been down for long. They may have just forgotten about it. Maybe they'll come back. Maybe they won't. I hope they don't. It would not hurt me in any way, shape, or form to watch this place deteriorate. Because they built it right over a main thoroughway. It's like this would have been a hangar. I'm guessing when you have these rounded, curved walls in here, you can't put a pentashield in. Not seeing any though, so I don't think they did have any. All this stuff's open to the world now. Oh, there's a pentashield right there. I don't know why they didn't go all the way up. Bizarre. Let's put a lot of effort into this one. It's gone now. Sneaky little thopter in there. Did you see that? It's right there. I don't know if the same concept was going on here and it's just deteriorating. Don't know. So some areas that I was thinking about for this one was in the shadow of Godzilla here. We do have some decent space. Now there's a bunch of sand flies right here. But like this area right here would be nice. I don't want to intrude on anything transitory, but this would have to be a very squat, straight up base, which this is why I wasn't thinking about coming here. I'm gonna just hit the wrong button, so you know we're gonna crash. But the areas around here are not bad for building. They usually have a decent amount of flat space, and you can stay off of the rock walls fairly easily. Here's another base where people have done so. So they still got power and they're still running. Good on you. Yeah, so you could build a bottom floor garage pretty well here. Get your buggy in and out. What you got in there? Is it a carrier? Oh yeah, look at that. Wow, I'm surprised they were able to build there. Yep, they got a ground area. They really like the circle windows too. But this area, like I said, gives you access to aluminum. Quick access heading out into the deep desert, and quick access for Odom. So this is still a possibility. Haven't really decided yet. What the hell's going on? PvP zone, I guess. This person's base, this has been here for quite a while. It's clever design, I guess. Kind of weird on the outside. Not sure. I didn't think you could use this many staking units. But, not very wide. But at least they were decent enough to build this in a manner that people could get through. You know? So good on you for that. I got 2 Thopters. So it's nice that somebody could drive through. So even though they built in an area they're really not supposed to, I mean, you can, but you're not supposed to build on here. At least they were decent enough to give people access through. So you can still bring your buggy. So I don't know who you are, guys. Strange design. I don't know what's going on all the way up here. But kudos. Is this part of their base too? Yeah, looks like it. So I got units running, so they took their time. I like the useless balcony. You can go out and look and see stuff. And they got another one right there, so awesome. Don't know what's going on with the jellyfish capital here, but it's on top, just a regular roof. Yep. Ooh, look at you being sneaky. Penthouse. Let's go take a look at this guy. I haven't seen this one yet. Oh yeah, I have. That's because this is not a player base. This is a what is this thing? Yeah, it's the Aegis. Why does that key up? PvP. Interesting. As you can tell, I've never been here. Who are you? An Atreides person? Oh, come on. There's quite a bit of shooting going on in here. Not sure why this is a PvP area. I don't know. Oh, Landra task. What? Guess we should be looking at that too, shouldn't we? I don't even know what the hell's going on here. I don't think there's a player there. I feel like that's PvE people getting all mad. Look at this thing. My God. There's a lot of aluminum on this nubbin. There's a player base who decided to get around the rock issues by just step building, which is good. Give you credit on that one. There's a lot of people here. Holy cow, what are you guys all doing? What the hell did you do this for? Man, they spent a lot of money on staking units just to... Is there something under there? No. Oh, they're powered down. Oh, well, they're not powered down, but these units are down. So they still got enough to keep most things running. But once those fuel generators go out, there won't be a whole lot left there. It's not a player base. This is interesting. So they still have pentashield stuff up, but looks like the outside walls have all been destroyed. I wonder if they got some generators in there that just weren't enough to keep everything running, and then as the storm destroyed a bunch of stuff, then it brought it back under control and those pentashields went up. That's kind of neat. Oops. Come on, man. Yeah, that's kind of nifty. The only problem with this, though, is, like, I wouldn't have noticed how cool that is. Maybe I would have. I was going to say, I wouldn't have really noticed how cool that was unless the roof got destroyed. That's neat, though. So what do you do? A bunch of triangle pieces? Yep. Hmm. Love the symmetry. Love the symmetry. And the window choices. Nicely done. Looks like this was a guild base, or potentially going to be a guild base. We got player rooms here, but guess it all went to shit. That is neat though, but like I said, you know, wrong button. Like I said though, it kind of loses it. Well, you know what? You'd be able to see it with triangle roof tiles if you had a roof directly on that. Because you could just go with those outside edges and then straight wall. But that's a definite interesting design. Yeah. Might be stealing that. I don't know whose base this is. That's dying slash not dying. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Good God, there's 3 cats and a dog in here. Can't believe it. Everybody's sleeping. Okay. So anywho. So I've seen quite a few people do this concept here, where they built a base that is, especially in this area that's got all these little spiky pillar things. Um, they came way up here, and this is where they decided to build their base, which to an extent would work. But the issue you have here, like, how do they do anything with this? You know, like where's that sand bike go? Stop the edge, and then I guess you climb up by yourself. Gotta be careful, man. This whole place is about to come down. That wall and that staircase is the only thing. Oh, no, there's corner piece. No, yeah, that's the only thing holding this whole place up. They had some bookshelves. Good lord. I did not expect to walk into this, you know? Sir? You took all the time to make a bedroom in here, and now they're just like, nah. We can find out where they. Everything's perfect. Look at that. She's been exposed a little bit longer. Got a respawn beacon right down there. So I don't know what's going on with these here, fellas, but I believe everything else is going to decay at a much faster rate. So, although these boxes might survive. Go through all that trouble to make a bedroom. And just walk away from it. This is weird. Because, like, these light things, I don't think those are part of building sets. I know definitely this rope thing isn't. They might have built over something. I got a neighbor down here. So building in this area, we'll take a look on the map. I am right at the edge. This is the northern entry into the Hagar Rift Caves, where you can get all the theorite and carbon. We're a little farther away anything than we thought. So we're going to head back because I don't want to run out of fuel and we're on our last fuel cell, even though we got a full tank. The big area that I was looking at building in is that right there, the shadow of the big hammer, in the eastern Vermilius Gap. That puts me a little closer to Hager Rift, but again, I don't feel like I need that. I just don't get enough of that stuff. Right, we use enough. Going by this rock over here on the left. I don't know how well you can see it. I don't know how that didn't fall. And there is also the possibility of just tearing this base down. A little close. Just tearing this base down and rebuilding from it. But I was looking into that and I was like, well, that would be nice because I don't have to move anything. I won't have the destroy something and then try to rebuild it, especially for some of those bigger machines that use a lot of spice. The plastinium. Good God. But I was like, well, I have to move the big important stuff to a specific area, and I know my large spice refinery will only fit in the room that it's in, so I'd have to move all the other stuff that way. I do kind of have the space for it. Tear all this down and then start over. And that's a lot. It might be the best way. I don't know yet. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Do we start brand new? Do we start over brand new, or do we tear this down, rebuild it? Issues that I have also with this is like this rock here. That's from the ground that came through. And that's also what drove some of the design choices that we have here. Pick some stuff up first. Boop, boop. That'll work. So we'll go drop that spice off. See what I mean? Like, it only took, what, 20 seconds, but I feel like I could design better. Let's see, you are full of that, which just, now see here, good example. I just ran past because I forgot about that. So obviously don't forget about it would be a really good idea, but now I'm going to have to run all the way back over here. There's a set of steps there because if I don't have the steps, then I've got rock formations all over the place. And the rock formations are actually sneaky. You can cover them up. As you can see, I didn't do that good of a job here. I used to have 3 sets of stairs, and you could see a little bit of stone coming through there. But then I made this area so I could get to where that assault doctor is better. And that required this to be kind of open. So yeah, it's just pain in the butt stuff. I know it's petty. I know there's far bigger problems in the world, but got lots of plastinium, eh? That'll work. Ah, it's so nice to be able to just not have to scan the list and see which. Someone taught me a neat little trick. Let's say you want to know how much iron ore you have, right? So you go to something, and here you'll see that it takes iron ingots, 1,022. Here I've got 1,000 aluminum ingots. Plastanium, I got 5,000. It's a good way to check. You can't check how much you have, like your ores specifically. Excuse me, unless you go in here. Like here, I got 55 copper ore. And iron, I've got, I make 1,000 of these damn things. And for steel, I can do like 1,500. I've got some stuff in here, don't I? Got some iron in here. Iron should go right there. Look at that. I'd prefer not to do that. I'd prefer to have a much easier to detect way of knowing where this stuff is. But yeah, your machine will tell you how much ore you have of each one and how much you can make and what you can do with it. And then try to build something and it'll tell you how many ingots that you actually have. So thank you, Baron. Baron showed me that. That was awesome. Because he was doing it, and I was like, how do you know exactly how many you have? And he's like, oh, try to build something. If you're not smart, hang around with smart people and keep your ears open. That'll work. I don't think I can make anything else because we're really dead on this Dravidium. I'm gonna have to go to bed early tonight. Good God. Keep yawning. I got coffee here. It's probably cold by now. Yeah, it's cold, but it's doing its job. While we're here, by the way, since we saw that, I want to see what the Landsrad tasks are. I still have not gone and gotten all the wrong one. It's over here. I deserve it. Okay, so for these pieces here, I did get a bunch of the Acaronians, but I haven't gone to pick them up yet. And I'm also going to be honest, I don't really remember who I was supposed to get them from. Does it change? Yeah, it changes. So I don't really know. I think that's the only thing I need is boots. Regis. It's only 35, so I only have to do 3 of them. Is that right? I could look on my own stream. How funny is that? Because there was a point where, oh, there it is. So we'll go back and look at our own information, and we'll see. Okay, so we need more Tani. More Tani and Vernius. I did write it down. I have no idea where Moritani is. Vernius, though, is in Helios Gate. We were just there. How funny is that? Give me a second while I take a look here. Dead silence. That's always good. ECAS, right? Yep. So I need ECAS, Vernius, and Moritani. One is in Helium's Gate. Alright, let's head that way, and then we'll figure out the other two. But I think those boots are the last thing I need. No, we got boots. We already got boots. Damn it. Hoping. Alright, let's run to the other side of the base. This was a Landsrad task that we got last week. And we didn't do very many. Really, we only got the Acheronian armor pieces. That was really the only thing we did. There's a couple people that owe us some Solari, but I don't need to hunt them down for that. Oh, sorry, I'm way high altitude. But up here is Helios Gate, so we're going to go see... let's see, who are you? I think it was Vernius. That guy. But he's just off to the side in that little tower there in the very bottom floor. And then we need to find out where Mortani and Iraz are. Pretty good landing, if I do say so myself. Yeah, hurry though, she's sliding forward. Hey dude, you owe me stuff.
You're back. With good news, House Vernius always fulfills.
Thank you. There we go, chest piece and 10,000. Sweet. Okay, quit sliding. Let's see, so we need ECAS and Moritani. I'm actually going to Google that. So let's see here. Oh, come on. ECAS can be found in a little cave in the southern Haga Rifts. Alright, so have I seen them? Probably have, I would think. Ah, come on. Thorvald. There's Moritani. That's awesome. And it looks like the ECAS representative is actually pretty close. It should be somewhere around in here, and I guess I just haven't gone to talk to them. So let's do that now. Almost died from the sun. Done that before. Actually went to the quartermaster the other day. and went to drop some stuff off, and then I jumped over and I was talking to Mrs. Rabbit, and I got to talking, wasn't thinking, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm just standing outside, and I walked over and I died, standing right beside my ornithopter. I was like, well, that's not too bright, is it? Come on. Wonder what their taxes are. Man, that was good. You see that? I was heading straight at him. A little dusty on the top, gentlemen. Did it do it wrong? Hell yeah, it did. Yeah, they're gonna love me for that, aren't they? Hello.
You again. Do you have business with House Moritani?
What the hell was that? Yeah, you owe me something.
Moritani pays. Remember that when someone asks to double-cross us. We always pay our debts.
You weren't very nice to people, dude. You piss waved me off. Alright. Let it roll. So that other one should be up here. Bunch of weirdos over here, man. Alrighty. Says they're in a cave. Around in here. So we're gonna start flying around until we see. But if they're in a cave, they're probably down here. Can I fit through there? No, can't. Oh, that's a little cave, but doesn't look like anybody in there. Yeah, they're not down here. They're in the sunlight. Let's go back up. Seen them. You sees them? Hello, new friend.
Hey, you look like you need to relax. You like Samuta? I've got plenty. Legal too. Advantage of diplomatic immunity. Me? Drensilar, second cousin twice removed to Lady Coranda, ruler of House Akaz. Cousin Carr, I call her that, sent me here to keep an eye on things. You know, the whole war of assassins. Cousin Carr says our alliance with the Atreides can't be allowed to drag us down too far. So I watch and wait. Yeah, Akaz and Atreides go way back. Don't mind telling you, they really saved our arse when House Mauritani moved against us. Bad scene. The Mauritani and the Harkonnens are thick as thieves, so naturally we're cozy with the Atreides. But House Harkonnen, he's one of our best customers, so you can't just write him off. You know, circles within circles, right? Oh, yeah. I mean, my main job is to find friends who can help out House Akaz. Gotta look out for the homeworld, you know what I'm saying? Well, our support in the Landsrat, for one. You scratch our backs, we'll scratch yours. Usual thing. House Akaz? Well, we're known for our jungles and forests, our arts, and our pharmaceuticals. We're ruled by Lady Coranda after the Archduke retired. Lady Carr's main focus has been trying to get the planet back in balance after a bunch of bioweapon attacks that played hell with the ecology. That and getting some revenge, of course. It's not all bad, no. We're still known as the Sculptor's Paradise, thanks to our native fogwood.
Fogwood?
Oh, it's crazy stuff. It's a tree that's sensitive to human thought. Talented sculptor can make a work of art just by thinking about it. I really wanted to be a fogwood sculptor when I was growing up. My teachers all said I lacked the right kind of mind for fogwood. So I settled for a different kind of fog, if you know what I mean. Yeah, the quartermaster let us know that you'd helped us out. I've got a reward for you here somewhere.
Whatever, man. Dude's kind of weird. But, hey. Works for me. Bogwood, huh? I guess that's why the Mauritani guy was so dismissive of me. Whatever, dude. Still gave me what I wanted. Alright, so we're going to go back. We're going to drop these items that we just picked up in our chest. So, I think pants is what we're missing. Well, since we're here, let's go ahead and talk about this. This was another location that I had thought about building in. There's one person here. But this is a decent incline. And relatively easy to build on. It has a nice camp. So we did do some body farming. And I was looking at this area right here. Not sure how much I can get away with that camp being right there. But I was thinking like right in this spot or possibly right here in the corner. And maybe build something that's got a little bit of a back curve to it. But this has definite possibilities. Also, if I can't build there because of the proximity to that, I was hoping to be able to come around this corner. There's still some stuff up here. And the entryway that leads up to that area, which might inhibit, but I don't know. I think honestly the best thing to do would be to just claim a spot and see what I could make happen. I did have some neighbors at one point who were back in this area. Because you see we're flying straight at my base right now and starts to come in. There was a guy that was here, had a huge base, it was really cool. Then there was two guys here, they were buddies. And they built bases there. There was the one that was on the corner here that I just watched deteriorate away until it finally just destroyed. This one went away like instantly. So that guy either quit or tore everything down and went and built someplace else when I wasn't looking. I'm on this all the time, so yeah, it was just one day it was there and the next day it was gone. It's like, dude, where'd you go? And it had power up until the point that it disappeared, so I didn't have to just sit there and watch it decay. Not sure exactly what occurred. Okay, now. So we've got the Acronian boots. Doot. We got an Acronian chest plate. Boop. And we got Acronian helmet. I gotta put the boots down here. So, yep, pants. Just need Acronian pants, and then we've got a full set of that. Let's take a look at the Lancerhead and see what things we could be doing. Nothing there. Nothing there. Pincushion helmet we already have. Nothing there. Acronian helmet we have. Don't know yet. Nothing there. Acronian chest plate we already have. Don't know. Well, that's going to be spice, but Nope. Acronian gauntlets we have. I'm honestly not sure if the pants are even an option. The reason I say that is because I just started doing this, so I mean, I don't know if you can actually get the full suits out of it or not, but I mean, we'll have to see. But yeah, it's strange. I haven't seen the pants come up yet, but I've seen everything else that I have, so that's starting to worry me. Starting to worry me a lot. Yeah. Well, we collected the things that we cared about, and we haven't seen anything else. I wouldn't mind getting another compact compactor just because if something happens to this one, it's gone, it's gone. Probably wouldn't build it with that. But Regis missile launchers, and I need 4 of them. No, I don't think so. Regis is top tier. It's going to cost a ton. I have to look into Kind's cut array. I'm not sure exactly what that is. You know, I have a pincushion helmet. I think I already said that. I didn't see anything else. I don't see syndicate stuff or the pincushion stuff that's accessible or unlocked. Is the things interesting? Yeah, we'll have to keep track of it and see what kind of things open up. But anyway, we're gonna call it a night there because I'm getting tired. So, and I got to think more about the base, and we scouted out a couple spots that are kind of cool, and we'll see what we're gonna do. That might be a future video. I don't think that would be so much of a live stream, but yeah, definitely a lot of work. But you know, oh, yeah, I want to talk about something else. This gun, no. So it was kind of weird when the DLC thing launched, and no, kitty's telling me it's time to go. Right here's the area. No spoiler, you know. But here's my base, and here's the new area, the wreck of the Mithra. Hi, kitty. He heard me say it was time to go. So, what are you doing? That was him, folks. Sorry. Hi. I say hi to everybody. No, okay. Yeah, but this was the new DLC stuff, and it was kind of nice that it was right outside of my base area. I'm talking about abandoning the place, and the new DLC popped up right there. But it was kind of weird because these people are like, "Oh, we crashed, and oh boy, we crashed, and we need medical supplies." And I'm like, "Dude, I've got hundreds back here in my base. I'll get you across the sand. Let's just fly your people over here." Yeah, I've got rooms that have huge amounts of space for nothing in them, so you all can triage yourselves there. I felt real bad. It's just my natural inclination to want to help. Um, but it's kind of weird that this thing is like, the tasks that you're doing for these people are a little underwhelming. Um, but like I said, that's a problem that
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm
so
is
that's a problem
approaching.
that every game seems to have, is that they want to make new content and they want everybody to be able to experience it, but it's just one shot and everything through, and it's like, oh, go up here and kill these two guys. You're like, oh no, are you sure? I hope I can handle it. I don't know if they're gonna have more things with these people, but I already just went over there, and it all pretty much happens just in that little spot. At least the first part. I'm up to the pickup listening devices, but I don't know. I think it's just a shame that you get a new DLC thing here, and I don't blame them. I don't know how to fix it. Every game I've ever experienced kind of had that issue. Um, Maybe one of the only things I'll say nice about Destiny recently was, at least when something new came out, you kind of had to
Sector
be
weather alert.
prepared
A
for it,
large
and it
sandstorm is
did
approaching.
match a top tier kind of thing. So like, every time a DLC came out, they would raise the power level. So you wanted to be at the top of the current power level so that when the new stuff came out, you were at the bottom of the new bracket. But at the bottom of the new bracket, you could handle what was going on. But there were moments that it was tough. So it kind of grew with you. They expected you to grow with them. We'll grow with you, you grow with us. Um, as a first DLC, I'm not seeing that. Unless, some of the Lost Harvest stuff is a little different. I haven't really touched too much into this. Um, I just loaded the game up and I heard somebody was crashing, so I went out to go see what's going on. So we'll have to see what the rest of it holds. Maybe it's going to get a little more deeper content, a little harder. But, I mean, that whole thing was meh, you know? And they're still out there, too, these poor people. Like, yeah, how much water I've got in here, guys? Do you like spice-laced
Sector weather
meatballs?
alert.
Because I've
A
got
large
tons of
sandstorm is
those.
approaching.
I got hundreds of those. They could feed the whole crash site. Could drop some still tents off to them or some stuff, or whatever. Um, I think it's weird that they made a rocky outcropping because that used to be just open sand. But meh, meh. I don't know what I expect from DLCs anymore. Sadly, not much. Couple new things, and that's all you'll usually see. I'm actually generally surprised when a company and a game producer or a dev studio goes all out. Um, the Halloween event in the DMZ or Call of Duty was one of the most surprising things that I've seen a DLC or an event do, because they changed the whole map and put different little game modes and crazy little things in there. And that was just a Halloween event. I was like, holy crap. And a lot of people were saying the same thing too. They're like, I can't believe this. This is amazing. Just the amount of effort that went into an event. And it really showed. It's very odd to say good things about Call of Duty, to be honest with you. No offense, Call of Duty, but you kind of earned the reputation you have. But that DMZ event was incredible. So I kind of wish Funcom would have surprised me the same way. I'm not shitting on it. It's it's new content, it's a DLC, it's whatever. And like I said, I've just barely started it, so maybe it's, you know, come Saturday, maybe I'll be like, guys, I was totally wrong. I'd barely even touched anything. Of course, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, we'll have to see. But anyway, I haven't really done too much. I hope I haven't done too much. Because it'd be sad if this was it. I don't know, I just responded to a distress call. But anyway, guys, I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to finish up here. I got some medication to take. I think I'm going to do the same thing my dog's back here doing. Look at him. Look at him. Look at that. Look at that dumpy thing. And now I got a cat. Did you hear me say I was going to... have you learned the goodbye? Say hi to everybody. Mama's going to love the fact that you're on here. You a good kitty? I'm going to load up a video while I've got him here. Hold on just a second. No, we're not, guys. I can't find it, especially with him sitting with me. But I was actually out in a radiation suit out in Shome right before the last event went away, and he was sitting with me like this while I was playing. And I have a power cord that I use to charge my phone or other devices that's sitting right here. You can see him staring at it right now. He was staring at it, and my thumb hit the cable with when I moved my mouse, because a worm came, and it was one of those close breaches that zooms back as soon as it happens. So I hit that and was running to it. He dove for it and pushed my hand, and dude, I was freaking out. I did get away, but yeah, he almost got me killed. You almost got me killed, little man. I'm gonna say goodbye. Tell everybody bye. Tell everybody in the camera bye. All right, so we're calling it here, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, I will see you out there. So take care.